It is time for the second half of our doubleheader here at the Hoosier Gym in Knightstown. The Hoosier Gym Classic Boys Edition on the ISC Sports Network. Today's game presented by Andrew Prince Realty. Andrew Prince is here to help at PrinceRealtyIndy.com. By Coca-Cola of Kokomo, North Central Indiana's Coca-Cola bottler since 1907. By the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. By Fishers Freight Football. Indoor football is back in Central Indiana at the all-new Fishers Event Center. And the Freight are at home next Saturday night. Get your tickets at FishersFreightFootball.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools, open to students outside of the HSE district. Learn more at hseschools.org. By Hoops and Henry. Take your shot at Henry County basketball destinations and so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. By the Indy 11, World's Game Indiana's team and home next Saturday with a 7 o'clock kickoff at Carroll Stadium. By Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence Excellence at ltschools.org. And by 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? Alongside Jan Bozier, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. The girls' game was 114-105. We expect more of the same in the boys' game.
Well, we know we're going to have a lot of fresh legs. Mark Zachary, you said, was here, probably won't play. We'll see what happens. But short of that, we got a lot of young men and a lot of really good talent here.
Well, again, you see the Terhune team in blue, the Hickory team in the typical burgundy and gold. And again, this was a year. The girls' side, I would say there's probably 20 players that thought they were in consideration for the Indiana All-Star team, and almost all of them were here for the boys. Maybe that number shrank just a little bit, but all the key players are here, Jan, on both sides.
Yeah, and it's a really good group as well. It's a lot of height. This is a little bit different game from the girls because a lot of rim action typically happens with the boys.
The other thing that is different, too, and part of this is just simply the nature of recruiting these days. We had one undecided player in the girls' game. On the boys' side, there are probably 7 or 8 kids that aren't exactly sure what their college recruiting is going to look like. So this is a chance for some of those players to showcase their skills against a great level of talent.
And what a lot of young people don't realize, there are a lot of things that can happen before the start of any basketball season. Some people decide not to go. It changes, never ending. So you just never know what you can do to help your cause.
Don Scheiman, our game director, out there giving some last-minute instructions to Terhune. And for the team in blue, there are 3 guys that are known for their days as Red Devils. All 3 of the big 3 of Jeffersonville State Championship team, Trey Singleton, Michael Cooper, and P.J. Douglas, are on hand and are playing today.
Well, I tell you, what a great year for Jeffersonville. Come back to beat Fishers. A lot of people didn't think that could happen, but it did, and those 3 are dynamic, to say the least.
Also on your screen now, the Hickory Huskers, the young man wearing number 8 there in the back row. He is the one that almost everyone expects to be named Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana. That will take place tomorrow at the Indianapolis Stars High School Sports Award ceremonies. That is Braylon Mullen, bound for UConn. Yeah. He, of course, played in the McDonald's All-American game just about a month ago.
Yeah, he's the real deal. Obviously put his team. He had some good help, but clearly one of those players, Greg, that could literally carry his team. And what a great, not only this year, but what a great career he had at Greenfield Central.
We owe you one pregame break. Let's take it now. We'll come back. We'll introduce you to the players, the officials, and tip this thing off here at the home of the historic Hoosier Gym in Knightstown. Back in just a moment. You're watching the Hoosier Gym Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
The force is strong at the Fishers Event Center as your favorite Star Wars characters arrive to watch the Freight take on the Quad City Steamwheelers. Get your tickets today at FishersFreightFootball.com.
For the first time ever, Hamilton Southeastern Schools is opening its doors
to students residing outside the district.
If you are looking for an award-winning school system
that offers top-tier academics, innovative programs, and endless opportunities,
now is your chance to join us. With more than 21,000 students, HSC is where learning comes to life.
Apply today and become part of a district that's shaping the future. Because at HSC, excellence starts here!
Our service area is actually East Central Indiana. They come to us because we have this unique ability to access specialty care. Our partnerships with St. Vincent Health and Heart Hospital. We have Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, the Mayo Clinic Care Network. We access their resources via the broadband network that we have through 9-Star Connect. It's really all about connectivity. We don't have connectivity except for 9-Star Connect.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
We love it!
Well, that is one Bobby Plump that is walking away from our game officials. Let's reference those guys for you. Steve Corrier, Kevin McGahan, Mark Gines. Our officials brought to us by Andrew Prince Realty. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, investment comes to real estate, Andrew Prince with Century 21 Sheets is here to help. 317-883-7575 or online at princerealtyindy.com. Steve's working the All-Star circuit like us. He had the HBC All-Star Classic 2 weeks ago, and one of the better officials in our state, no doubt about it. Well, teams will be kind of brought onto the floor here as we introduce all of the players to you. For those of you that may have missed the girls' game that took place at 11 o'clock, Terhune got the win, 114-105. What stood out to you about the girls' game earlier today?
Quickness, speed. I mean, I think they had both talent was loaded, but the difference for me was the speed that was on the blue team. It just got off that big start. Now, Hickory came back, but at the end of the day, it was clearly the quickness and speed that really cashed in.
All right, so teams are about to be introduced. So Hickory is going to be introduced here, so let's run through the rosters for the Hickory Huskers. Xavier Robinson, bound for Butler from Lawrence North High School, the all-time leading scorer in the history.
One of the best.
Of Lawrence North, leads his team onto the floor. Boston Willard, who played with Jalen Mullins at Greenfield Central. Desmond Briscoe from Crispus Attucks High School. Desmond was going to Iowa, but because of the coaching change at Iowa, he has opened up his recruitment, yet to name where he is going. Chase Barnes of Fort Wayne, who made the Indiana All-Star team, also on the Hickory squad. Ethan Edwards of Whiteland. He and Chase both going to go play for Scott Hetty at the University of Indianapolis. The Truesdales, Draylon and Darion from Bishop Luers, both playing in today's game. Justin Kirby of Fisher is going to go play at Miami, Ohio. And Bryson Cardinal of Guerin Catholic. Yes, that would be Brian's son, all in uniform today for the Hickory Huskers. Hickory with 10 players in uniform in today's game.
Yeah, and you can't be a fan of basketball and not hear those names throughout the last 2 or 3 years. All of them have been a big part of their schools.
And the coaching staff for Hickory, both from Attucks High School. Chris Hawkins, of course, Attucks made the 3A championship game this year. His top assistant for many years, and Matt Thompson. Those guys coaching the Hickory Huskers in today's game. We'll get you the Terhune coming up just in a matter of moments. You see Terhune on your screen as they're wrapping up the Hickory squad, players and coaches right now.
I can remember seeing Cardinal get his first start. We were at the Kokomo tournament, and Guerin was there, and he had not started up until that point, and you could tell he was ready. He had a really good game.
Now for the Terhune team. Again, Trey Singleton wearing number 2. Mark Zachary wearing number 3, both Indiana All-Stars. Damian King of Anderson going to go play at UT Martin. Brady Kaler, he'll go play for Micah Shrewsbury at the University of Notre Dame. Luke Lindemann, who, well, he and his family should get used to watching the ISC Sports Network. He's going to play for Marian University. Their associate head coach, Todd Howard, is here to watch him today. Chase Knesny, who led South Bend St. Joseph to the 3A championship, wearing number 11 as well. Grady Carpenter played for, well, the coach that has a brand new kidney. That would be Cliff Hawkins. Played for him at Tipton. Going to play at Grace College, as will Gavin Benton, who's wearing number 13. Gavin is the all-time leading scorer in the history of Wabash County and led Manchester the 2A championship. You may not recognize him until he waves. Julius Gizzy's got a new hairstyle.
I didn't.
Wearing number 14, headed to play at Indiana Wesleyan. And then Michael Cooper and P.J. Douglas of Jeffersonville, who will play at Wright State University for Clint Sargent. And the coaching staff for Terhune, Trent Whitaker, the all-time winningest boys basketball coach in New Pal history, and his top assistant, Jordan Myers, round out the Terhune All-Stars.
I can remember having Gizzy his freshman or sophomore year at the Southport, the Holiday Classic they have every year. He would come off the bench, okay, and man, did he have a turnaround.
The leap that he made
was
from his sophomore year to his junior year, significant.
Yes, sir.
So Mark Zachary is going to play. That's good to see. He was the only player we were told we may not see Mark, and obviously Mark played just a couple of games, just played in the sectional for Ben Davis. with a couple of different injuries. Of course, he's going to play football at Notre Dame. But he will play for the Indiana All-Stars in June. So it's Singleton, Zachary, Gizzy, Cooper, and Kaler. For Hickory, it is Briscoe, Mullins, Kirby, Robinson, and Cardinal. We got some dudes in this game.
Yes, we do. And get ready. That rim's going to hear a little bit of banging.
Here's Xavier Robinson, head of the play at Butler.
Xavier Robinson is one of my all-time favorite players. He just is.
4-year starter at Lawrence North. Kirby for 3, the opening bucket of the game for Justin Kirby.
That's what Xavier Robinson does. Draws attention, dishes, or he can score.
And again, he played kind of a couple of different guard spots as Singleton connects for 3. I think now Xavier knows, hey, I am a point guard from this point forward. A lot of Indiana All-Stars on the floor here. The dish to Briscoe, and the rim let that one fall. Desmond Briscoe. He and Chris Hurt, both 4-year contributors for Coach Hawkins at Crispus Attucks. Singleton has made 1, does not make the second. Singleton leading Jeffersonville to their 2nd state title in school history over Justin Kirby's Fishers team. Gizzy had it, lost it. Cardinal the takeaway, and Kirby the bucket. Kirby, too, will be an Indiana All-Star. Catch and shoot for Cooper for 3, and guess what? He's going to be an Indiana All-Star, too. Singleton draws the assignment on Mullins. The behind-the-back lead for Cardinal does not go, and Cooper with the rebound. Can Singleton not make his season debut to the Hall of Fame Classic for Jeffersonville?
No.
Briscoe has other ideas for Gizzy. Those two guys met in the semi-state round of the tournament at Southport. Gizzy, the all-time leading scorer in family history at New Pal, which encompasses 4 of the 5 members of the family. And speaking of Gizzy, Max just caught the errant pass out of bounds. Max, who finished his playing days at Huntington after we saw him for 4 years playing at Marian University. Mullins does not go, and the rebound corralled by Gizzy. So Hancock County very well represented with Gizzy and Mullins on the floor together.
And the Gizzy family represented in 3 different colleges. Actually 4 now, but the one transfer.
They played for half the Crossroads League.
Yes, they did.
Briscoe just couldn't get the steps right. Cardinal, though, is there for the rebound.
What, the St. Francis, I think, is the girl, and then obviously Marion and Huntington, and now Indiana Wesleyan.
I want to do choirs. This year, if you draw a line,
I'd say that's a family that was blessed with some serious talent, Greg.
No doubt. Steal by Cooper, and Cooper will lay it up and in. So Cooper's got 5. And a 1-point lead for Terhune. Briscoe finds Cardinal. Cardinal puts it up and in. Cardinal, a couple of buckets.
Cardinal's really kind of stretched out his last couple of years as a senior, gotten really tall. Of course, his father, obviously very tall.
Obviously, the janitor, Citizen Payne, depending on which era of nickname you want to go with for Bryant, pro or college. Xavier Robinson lays it up and in. Robinson finished this year 19 points per game, 3 rebounds a contest as well. Singleton off the window, no, but gets the putback.
Man, he is so quick.
Headed to play at Northwestern. His recruitment just exploded during the summer between his junior and senior year. Missed the first 6 weeks of the season due to injury. Cardinal for 3, that does not go. Ball out of bounds. Cardinal led Garin Catholic to the sectional championship. They finished 23-5 with the Golden Eagles for head coach Bob Allen. And Zachary crosses half court. Get away with that.
Okay. He had so much time to prepare for that shot during the season, right?
Listen, he barely got to play. Might as well make up for lost time.
Oh, my. That may be the longest shot I've seen in this tournament in the 6 or 7 years we've done it.
Kirby makes his second 3. He shot 41% for the state runners-up. Poked away by Kirby. Robinson just weaving his way through traffic. Nobody stops the ball.
He just does things that others don't. He's been one of my favorite players for many years now.
Kaler, this is what he'll be asked to do at Notre Dame. And
oh my.
On cue, got it to go. Of course, they were knocked off by Attucks in the sectional semifinal. Kaler, 32% from three-point range, which was not what he expected in his senior year. But again, long term, he's going to be just fine at Notre Dame. Ball movement crisp. Briscoe.
How about that?
I think I heard him call bank there. We'll count that. Dez has got 5.
Robinson just brings an element and he makes everybody so good.
Gizzy on the bounce, and Gizzy and 1. So Julius gets the bucket to go. Wall of substitutions coming on. I want to thank our friends at the Ed Martin Automotive Group. I want to congratulate Justin Kirby of Fishers and Bryson Cardinal of Guerin Catholic for being a part of today's Hoosier Gym Classic. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com. Gizzy now will exit. So Gavin Betton will come in.
Solid player, state championship. Was able to call his game. Man, he's a solid player, Greg.
When you can say you're the all-time leading scorer in your county, gets your attention.
Yeah, he's kind of one of those players, Greg. He doesn't force much, just kind of lets the game come to him.
Line change for Hickory, and Boston Willard gets the bucket.
Lighten it up here, no surprise.
Again, Willard representing Hancock County as well. Terhune with 4 subs made. 3 in the corner does not go. That's Chase Knesny of South Bend St. Joe. And Knesny, 22 points, 9 rebounds a game. Second leading scorer in the history of St. Joseph County. P.J. Douglas, no. Rebound for Damian King, played at Anderson High School. Knesny, 3 in the corner that time, got it. Of course, his older brother, JR, just finished 4 years at Notre Dame, has 1 year of eligibility left, will play elsewhere. Darion Truesdale. And Zachary with the rebound. Lost the handle. Hickory on the bounce. Draylon wears number 10. Darion wears number 11 for the Truesdales from Bishop Luers. They're joined by Ethan Edwards of Whiteland on the floor. Whiteland Warriors won a 4A sectional this year. Ball taken away by Gavin Betton. 11 in uniform for Terhune, 10 for Hickory. King, step back pure.
Good shot there.
Damian, 31% three-point shooter. 22 points a contest, going to play for UT Martin in the OVC. The C's part for Truesdale. Darion, 13 points and 5 rebounds a game.
Well, you turn your head, and just like that, Barnes scores another one.
That's Barnes. Fort Wayne's been really good the last 3 years, been a big part of it. Douglas's shot misses. Jefferson won the state championship, and 2 of their 3 players both had to deal with injuries during the course of the year. Douglas missed some time because of an abdominal issue. Singleton didn't start playing until December the 28th this year.
But you had to know if they could ever get on the same page and get help, they were the team that could win.
And they did.
And they did, yeah.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah, they just dealt with those injuries. Seemed like forever.
From the elbow.
That's nice. He can do that. I like his game a lot. Talked about seeing him in the state tournament. Solid player.
8th different player for Terhune to score so far. Barnes. And off the basket sport, you've got a Fort Wayne trio of players. Here's Grady Carpenter. Carpenter played at Tipton this year. They went 19-7. Tipton another sectional championship this year. Going to play at Grace. Had a chance to talk to Matt Moore, the head coach at Warsaw. His brother Scott is the head coach at Grace. And another loaded class coming in for Grace.
He's a 20-plus point per game high school player.
Corner three for Willard does not go, and Knesny able to throw that ball off of Truesdale.
Grace always seems to do a really good job of recruiting around here. They get people's attention. Of course, it's a nice arena. They've had a ton of success.
Carpenter, at his size, is a natural point guard. He's fouled, and Carpenter will shoot two. So as Carpenter goes to the free throw line, folks at Coca-Cola of Kokomo want to congratulate Grady on representing your school and your community in today's Hoosier Gym Classic. Just as Coca-Cola of Kokomo is proud to keep your classmates hydrated in the classroom and teammates hydrated on the court. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Grady makes them both. A little more high on the floor for the Terhune team currently. Barnes will pull from 18 and leave it short. Good job by King. Pass deflected though. And now numbers going the other direction. All the way down is Barnes who will lay it up and in.
Really nice by Barnes. He can elevate, Kenny Gregg.
We have a player that stumbled. It's King. Let's hope that he's all right. Obviously, it's the last thing that you want to see in a game like that.
That's for sure.
Any sort of injury situation like that. So trainer is out immediately to check on the injured player from Anderson. King averaged 22.7 rebounds a game. Anderson lost in the sectional champs Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon, of course, beat both Anderson and Greenfield Central. Made it all the way to the semi-state round of the tournament.
Let's hope he's okay.
Yep. Hope just rolled an ankle or something along those lines. And
Greg, he not only is a good scorer, really good rebounder, 7 a game. Did a lot for the Anderson Indians.
Yep, just rolled an ankle.
That's good.
Thanks to our ISC Sports Network crew. Ryan Pierce, Dalton Cox, Alex Laverne, Daryl Tibbs, Vince Morales. You know, I always have a different name for Carlos Alarcon because he let me mispronounce his name for like a year and a half. So since we're in Knightstown/Hickory, I thought I needed to have this old school name that begins with an A. So Carlos Amo on the camera today. How about that for Knesny? Knesny's second made three.
State champs.
Give Barnes the bucket on the drive. He's got 6 off the bench and a chance to make it 7.
You know, Greg, you talked about the significant amount of these players are still undecided. He's a player who can play the next level. I mean, he's a 20-plus point per game, and he is a solid player. He'll find a home.
Free throw is up and good. Wow. Basket is good for Douglas.
They just make that look so smooth, don't they? Little stop on the dime and elevate.
Douglas gets his first bucket. Well, Terhune had 11 in uniform. They may be down to 9. I'm not sure we'll see King again. Also just saw Mark Zachary exit. So Mark may have had another commitment to go to today. And one of the things the reason why these games are played at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. is that the folks who recognize this is prom season.
Prom hits it as much as every year it's a prom A lot of problem involvement, that's for sure.
Barnes' shot does not go.
You can't blame him. You get one of those. Yeah, maybe get two, I guess.
Rebound pulled down by Benton.
I only went to one. How many problems you go to, Greg?
I went to 3.
Of course. Of course you would go to 3.
Carpenter, long 3 does not go. Truesdale tracks down the rebound. Edwards will pick it up.
Well, my prom date was my wife, so I figured, yeah, that was
I'd say it worked out.
It worked out all right.
Well done. Step back, does not go for Truesdale, and that is the end of quarter number 1. Terhune 36 and Hickory 32. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back to Hickory/Knightstown when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Sports in general is just for anybody.
Good work. First down.
Seeing, girls flag football is pretty awesome.
Now there are 13 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Braylon Mullins, the young man expected to be Mr. Basketball tomorrow in the state of Indiana. Singleton just checked back in, let it fly, and he's not played much and scored 8 points.
You've seen Mullins many times, Greg. What stood out? Obviously, he can score.
Tremendous shooter, tremendous athlete, high work rate, high basketball IQ. Kirby with his third made 3. He's got 11. Sometimes when you play in an all-star game, you're asked to do a different role than you used to. Brady Kaler playing the role of water boy. Just went to the locker room and got about a case of Gatorade to bring back to the bench. First I thought, is he wearing some sort of wrap on his hand? No, he's got a lemon lime and a chill berry. Singleton again.
Singleton again. He makes it look easy.
He's got 11. Robinson pulls. Shot altered. Douglas, or Cooper rather. Well, they Luke Lindemann in there for the first time from Wilmington North. He's going to play at Marion. Briscoe will lay it up and in. Dez has got 7. Briscoe averaged over 5 blocks a game this year at Crispus Attucks.
Attucks has really had a nice run the last 2 or 3 years.
Here's Lindemann. The step back for Luke and got it to go.
On cue.
So everybody in uniform now has scored for Terhune already. Steal by Terhune. Leave the floor for Singleton. He'll find his high school teammate in Cooper and put it up and in. Coop's got 7. At the other end, Braylon Mullins reminds you that he's in the game.
Yeah, kind of lost track of him early, and he'll never get an easier shot than that one.
Cooper, the follow-up. And this is the annual check to see just how high the scoreboard will go. That is a 2 for Mullins. Mullins averaged 33 a game this year. Douglas, no. And we have seemingly hit the open gym portion of the game.
You usually get 2 or 3 of these.
Kirby. We'll play for Travis Steele at Miami of Ohio.
Greg, we've had some 110, 120s in these games. We may be headed to that.
We could be NBA All-Star game until this year, I think, at this point. Mullins from the other side of the floor. He's got, frankly, that level of range. Robinson, the hesitation, and left-handed finish. And he is as good as getting downhill as anybody in this state.
Yes, he is.
Knocked away. Can Robinson track it down? No need to force the issue.
I was glad that Robinson was headed towards the doors because he was flying.
Well, good to see King back on the bench. He's got an ice pack on his foot, though. I think there's no need for any further activity for him today. Singleton again for three, and
he's in a groove, isn't he?
Well, frankly, you know, he is a good three-point shooter, not a frequent three-point shooter. That was his role at Jeffersonville. But it's that what you see there as to why he is a Big Ten level player. The steal by Cardinal, who dunks it home. He's got 6.
Yeah, but Singleton's three-point percentage is pretty impressive.
Right, just didn't shoot that many of them.
No, but when he did, they were pretty accurate. Mullins kind of just living around the rim here right now.
Mullins and Kirby might have a dunk-off at some point because both those dudes can fly.
Yes, they can.
P.J. Douglas got that one, too. P.J. going to play for Wright State.
Mullins said you got one on me that time.
Kellen Pickett, by the way, who's not in this game, but was invited. He's one of the young men that said, hey, unfortunately, I've got a conflict on this day. I can't play. But there would have been 3 Wright State Raiders in this game if he had been able to make it. The miss by Cooper. Kirby. Told you. 15 for Kirby.
Was that Jordan-esque?
There was some jump man at the end of that, yes. Defense optional at this point.
You keep track of all this?
I think so. Somewhere close. Somebody may finish with 1,000,000 points in today's game. From the half-court line, no. Kirby was trying to line up one more. Cooper. Lindemann. And Briscoe lets him have that one. Lindemann with 4. Kirby will pull for 3. Not that time.
Oh!
Robinson!
Oh, my.
8 for Xavier Robinson.
6'2", maybe?
Singleton.
Uh-oh, the game's breaking out now.
Throw it up top for Mullins, and he'll get the bucket, could not catch it. And we'll have a timeout just to get players in the game.
Have a little fun.
Today's game presented in part by Lawrence Township Schools, voted Indy's best public schools. Metropolitan School District of Lawrence Township is your district destination. Commitment to excellence, innovation, and opportunity. LT empowers every student to reach their full potential on the path to graduation, college, and career. Whether you're new to the area, exploring the best for your child's future, discover what makes Lawrence Township the place where education leads to success. Learn more at ltschools.org. And congratulations, Xavier Robinson, for playing in today's game. Lindemann with 3. He's got 7, does Luke. Part of a Marion team that had a rebuilding year with a very young basketball team this past year. But they're bringing back everybody. In other words, Jan, you and I are going to see some pretty good basketball at the PE Center next year.
You know, I thought they got a lot out of that young group, and just, you know, they were shorthanded. How many games they show up and wonder if they were going to have enough players to finish?
It was often 7 or 8 that were in uniform for Marion.
But they just really, especially at home, played solid.
That entire group is back. Lindemann, part of a talented core, going to join them. Ron Rutland III will transfer in from IU Indy, amongst others. Lindemann flushes it home. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it should. His dad, Todd, played at Indiana University. Barnes got bumped and give it to him.
All 7 feet of him.
Foul against Knesny.
You know, there are some players who are listed as 7 feet, and there
Todd.
are some that are 7 feet.
There are some that you notice when they walk into the gym, and that
he is one of them.
Took me about 30 seconds to go, aha, Todd Lindemann.
Yeah,
was.
all 7 foot of it gave it away.
Barnes with 10. Kirby's 15 leads Hickory. Shot does not go. Runner by Barnes, no. Headed to play at UIndy. Scott Hetty's team. His first year at his alma mater. After Paul Casaro left to take the job at IU Indianapolis. On the drive, good bucket. Count the basket for Gavin Benton. Benton with 4. And a chance for an and 1.
Another one of those Grace recruits. They've got a really nice recruiting class just here in the state of Indiana, Greg.
Thank our friends in Henry County. Take your shot at Henry County. Basketball destinations and so much more. Visit hoopsandhenry.com for trip planning ideas. Truesdale. Both Truesdales back in the game. Shot blocked. That was Kaler that tracks that one down. Good find to Konechny. Konechny with 8. So Konechny. Truesdale for 3.
That was way downtown.
Darion Truesdale gets the bucket to go. Gizzy blows a tire. Thankfully, he's all right. Kaler changes his mind in mid-shot. Good look by Benton. Kaler, corner 3. That's where he will live in the ACC, is that corner. Edwards pulls for 3. That does not go. Gizzy with the rebound. Taken away by Hickory. One Truesdale deflected, the other able to steal it. Draylen, the step back 3, no. And Konechny and Kaler combine on the offering. And that's going to be a foul, and Konechny will shoot 2. Konechny with 8 points. Leading scorer is Singleton for Terhune with 14. Just reminder, fans, you can join the Indy 11 as they shine a light on mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Night next Saturday, May 3rd against Detroit City at 7 o'clock at Carroll Stadium. We're teaming up with local organizations to break the stigma and support our community. Enjoy a thrilling match, free mental health resources, and special in-game moments honoring those making a difference. Let's stand together because mental health matters. Grab your tickets for May 3rd at Indy11.com and be a part of something bigger than the game. Shot is good for Draylen Truesdale.
Bishop lures. He's another one of those undecideds.
Lures knocked off in the regional round in 2A by Gary 21st Century. Barnes got it to go. Barnes with a dozen. After winning back-to-back sectionals, Wayne did not make it out of the sectional this year. Gizzy, a long 2. That does not matter. Throw it up top. Couldn't get the dunk, but no turnover there. Barnes fires in the corner, yes.
Off the glass, too.
15 for Barnes. Kaler gets downhill. But turns it over. Chance for Hickory to go back in front. Truesdale, the step through, lay it up and in. He's got 7.
He's got length, doesn't he? He's got long strides, long arms.
Kaler dunks it home. His first 2-point field goal. He's got 5.
Greg, we may get to 100 before halftime.
Ball tipped away by Willard. Truesdale lays it up and in. He's got 5.
I don't know, in all the years we've been doing this, I'm not sure we've had 70-something at halftime. I don't think so.
Gizzy gets the bucket to go. He's got 7. Gizzy finished this year with 26 points. His point total was down because, frankly, his team was better.
You're right.
Than what it was. They were all back. Made it to the semi-state finale against Crispus Attucks.
And quite honestly, for that team, that wasn't a bad thing. I mean,
correct. It was better for the team.
It was better for the team.
He took a little bit of a lesser role.
It took a little pressure off of him, quite honestly.
His point guard Moses Haynes going to play at IU Kokomo next year. The 3 is good.
The 3 has been kind early.
Grady Carpenter, his first field goal. He's got 5. And Edwards connects, and everybody in uniform now has a basket. We're not even at halftime yet. Gizzy will pull, and that's good too, because
yes,
why
sir.
not?
The shooting percentage has been good, to say the least.
81-77. Jan and I might require oxygen for half number 2. We'll take this quick timeout. Halftime comes your way next as you're watching the Hoosier Gym Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
We are
really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
the home of Hoosiers,
where legends live.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house
and basketball courts in every park.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
family
and friends
and team
and fans.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
memories
and history
and future
and hope.
Basketball
lives here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
The force is strong at the Fishers Event Center as your favorite Star Wars characters arrive to watch the freight take on the Quad City Steamwheelers. Get your tickets today at FishersFreightFootball.com.
81-77, Terhune leads that team. Terhune won the girls' game. Offense is winning this game at halftime. Today's game brought to us by 9-Star Connect. Do the 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state. In fact, 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. Find out what so many others already know and call 9-Star today. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet, who knew? And 9-Star congratulates Braylon Mullins of Greenfield Central, as well as Boston Willard of Greenfield Central as well, for playing in today's Hoosier Gym Classic. Jan, quick thoughts on half number one?
Well, 45 points in quarter number two. I'll tell you, these, I'll call them legends. We've been calling their names for 2 or 3 years. Really showed us what they have done for 2 and 3 years. Just put on a shooting clinic.
Kirby and Barnes, 15 to lead Hickory, 14 for Singleton, 12 for Cooper to lead Terhune. We'll come back and show you, well, a whole bunch of dunks. You're watching the Hoosier Gym Classic on ISC.
The force is strong at the Fishers Event Center as your favorite Star Wars characters arrive to watch the freight take on the Quad City Steamwheelers. Get your tickets today at FishersFreightFootball.com.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
the home of Hoosiers,
where legends live.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
a giant field house
and basketball courts in every park.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
family
and friends
and team
and fans.
Basketball in Henry County, Indiana means
memories
and history
and future
and hope.
Basketball
lives here.
Basketball lives here in Henry County, Indiana.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Sports in general is just for anybody.
Good work. First down.
Seeing, girls flag football is pretty awesome.
Now there are 13 sanctioned states in high school girls flag, and then you add on that it's going to be an Olympic sport at the next Olympics, which is huge. I think it's a really exciting time to jump in and be at the forefront of this.
1, 2, 3.
Halftime, 81-78, Terhune leading Hickory. Jan, who has caught your attention so far in this one?
Well, that's hard to say. I know one, obviously Mullins, he is obviously the leading candidate for Mr. Basketball for a reason. Elevates, shoots. I mean, he's the real deal. But you could go down the list. I just thought all the players came to play. I thought it was a pretty fun first half.
Again, 14 points for Trey Singleton, 12 for Michael Cooper to lead Terhune. Barnes, 15, caught my attention. This is a great showcase stage for him. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with third quarter action next. Terhune leads it by 4. It's the Hoosier Gym Classic on ISC.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Looking for a school district that
Challenges, supports, inspires.
Hamilton Southeastern Schools is now accepting non-resident transfer students.
Giving families living outside our boundaries the opportunity to be a part of one of Indiana's top school districts.
With state-leading academics, unique hands-on programming, and a vibrant school community,
there's a place for every student to grow and succeed.
Apply now!
And take the next step toward a bright future.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We love it!
Knightstar is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
You know, sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
Knightstar is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
As we come back to action, Desmond Briscoe makes his second 3 of the game.
Right on cue.
5 on the floor. It's been a pretty solid starting 5 and bench 5 for Hickory.
You know, of all the players that are undecided, Briscoe probably surprised me as much as anybody.
But again, his is understandable. You know, he's going to Iowa. Coach ends up not coming back, and things change. Mullins for 3.
He'll lay the home.
Robinson got it to go. Robinson with 10. So Cardinal, Kirby, Mullins, Robinson, Briscoe, the 5 for Hickory. Singleton, my goodness, 17 for Singleton, his 5th 3.
He is so smooth.
Singleton, Kaler, Gizzy. Zachary got the start but had to leave early. Then Cooper. And they are joined by Grady Carpenter on the floor, and Desmond just casually puts that through the rim. And some of these young men will play in the Midwest Challenge we'll have on ISC in a couple of weeks at the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon. As Kaler got that to go. Kaler's got 7. Briscoe for 3, got that one too. Dez has 15 points and has 8 since halftime.
He's so smooth.
Off the hands of Cooper. And Desmond is an occasional three-point shooter. And again, we'll see if that part of his game translates to the collegiate level. He's more than occasional today. Misses that one. And Kaler throws to a teammate. Problem is that teammate was on the bench. And Terhune won the girls' game, 114-105. Kirby lays it up and in, and I think there's talking to people that see Kirby playing in this game and the All-Star game and kind of realize how good he is. There was a chunk of the season, Jan, he was the sixth man for Fishers, and he's going to be playing at a Division I level. That ball hit the light at the top of the building.
Mullen's trying to make a sell.
Right. Well, it was deflected.
That's what he's saying.
It was deflected.
He's
so
probably right.
Yeah.
It was deflected, hit the top, and that is off of the last person who
Hickory
touched
ball.
it. Yeah, that's actually correct.
You can tell guys starting to pick up the competitive level a little bit.
Well, he's got a referee in his future.
His dad, Josh, is over on the stage talking to Todd Howard. Josh played at IUPUI, was on their NCAA tournament team in 2003. Raylan's pass deflected away. Gizzy for three and nearly misses everything. Ball out of bounds to Hickory. In 10 on the roster for Hickory, 11 for Terhune. Mark Zachary had another engagement. Briscoe, look out, everybody. Okay, Dez. All right, Dez. Just kind of lost that on the way up.
Yes, he did.
And was able to brace himself for that fall.
He had so much momentum going, it really carried him through after he tried to dunk.
Yeah, he had grabbed the rim to brace himself. They're going to get a foul on Singleton on that. Today's game presented in part by Hamilton Southeastern Schools. Want to congratulate Justin Kirby of state runner-up Fishers for playing in today's game. At Hamilton Southeastern, excellence starts here. Learn more by going to hseschools.org/enrollment. Desmond with the miss. These are just the 4th and 5th free throws shot by Hickory. There have been 6 shot by Terhune.
Looks like he's okay. That's good news.
Yep. Hickory now in front after trailing at halftime by 4. Singleton again. They're like layups for him.
He is so smooth. Look out.
That may have left a dent in the sidewall.
I'm glad it was a little lower. That would have took somebody out.
There are some folks in that section are checking the consistency of that wall right now, just to make sure.
They're checking some other things, too.
Touch last by Mullins. I want to thank our ISC Sports Network crew, Brian Pierce, Carlos Alarkin the 4th, Dalton Cox, Vince Morales, Daryl Tibbs, and Alex Laverne. Alongside Jan Bozier, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you, Don Scheinman, all the good folks at the Hoosier Gym for having us out yet for another year. Briscoe.
Nice pass.
He's got 18. He leads the attack for Hickory. In the play for Chris Hawkins and Matt Thompson as high school coaches. What a great staff Hawk put together at Attucks. Singleton, a rare miss from 3. David Barlow, Chris Scott amongst other members of that Attucks staff. Kirby with left hand. Kirby with 19.
Miami of Ohio.
I think they got a steal, Jan.
I think they did too. He's a solid player, Greg.
And there was such talent as Cooper just slipped. And then Cardinal dunks it home. Cardinal's got 8. And we're going to make sure that, we mop up the floor. That's the reason for that momentary delay. But finish the thought. Those kids or Fishers were so good and the pieces were so equal that I think everybody kind of overlooks individually how good those players were. You're seeing that from Kirby today.
79% for two-point shooting. How's that for a percentage? I did a triple take on that to make sure I didn't misread it.
And you and I obviously saw a lot of Fishers this year. And I likened it to, like, you know, their stats were so otherworldly. You know, they were like a 68, 69% shooting team.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, that's like getting a 397 GPA and your A- was in gym. You know, that's how good that group was. Foul called against Kirby. And folks, the Hoosier Gym open for tours daily. There are so many wonderful ways that you can celebrate basketball in our state. There are the two here in Henry County at the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, the newly renovated Basketball Hall of Fame. Obviously, you make the brief trip from Newcastle to here as Robinson will throw it down. He's got a dozen.
But they're must-sees.
Yep.
I mean, they just are.
So here's how you spend a day, folks. If you want to get the full kind of high school hoops experience, is Kaler lines one up and knocks it down. Kaler now with 10, his second three. You know, come to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in Newcastle, then come here as Hickory turns it over, and from the midcourt stripe, Kaler going to be called for the foul, climbing the back of Cardinal. And then what you want to do is make sure you leave yourself enough time to go southeast from here and go to the Milan Museum. So you've got these two different places that celebrate specifically Hoosiers. You've got the gym here, and then the Milan Museum is a combination of Hoosiers and then Bobby Plump
and Milan,
Gene White, Ray Kraft, and Milan. I'm not sure you can fit that in 6 hours, but if you can, that's the way to go. Willard, Truesdales, Edwards, and Barnes, the five on the floor. Konieczny, Douglas. Konieczny fouled, and Konieczny will shoot two.
Didn't you just recently do something for the Milan? Was that this past year?
That was last year.
Last year, okay.
I was fortunate to be the MC of the 70th anniversary celebration.
I thought that's what you told
of the
me.
Milan Miracle.
That's pretty cool.
I had to turn down being the MC for the 30th anniversary of Hoosiers here in September of 2016. And because I had an Indy 11 game that night.
Right.
And I told the buddy of mine that asked, I said, 10-year-old me is kicking my butt right now for not being able to say that I could join you at this building. So I wasn't going to miss that opportunity. Edwards gets his second bucket, and we're at 100 points with 15 minutes of basketball left to go. Douglas with 7. Barnes poked away by Kaler. Willard able to track it down. Truesdale, a 2. So Draylon Truesdale got that to go. 3 at the other end for Lindemann. Lindemann's looked good.
Yes, he has. Shooting has been good today. It's not always good, but it's really good today.
15 points, 4 rebounds a game at Bloomington North for Lindemann. At the other end, Kaler connects. He's got a dozen.
I've been listed at 6'9", but he's every bit of that.
Obviously, he's had to put a little weight on to play in the ACC, but that shot and that natural advantage being left-handed is there. Truesdale, Darion Truesdale got it to go. Steal by Hickory. And Draylon Truesdale gets the 3. So those two have combined for 19 points. And Hickory in front by 5. Shot blocked. All the Fort Wayne kids getting on. Barnes for 3, yes sir. Barnes with 18. And the second unit has done pretty well for Hickory as well.
What's the over/under for 150 total here, Greg?
I think we're trending in that direction. The reverse layup is good for Gavin Benton. Benton's got 7. Nice move by Barnes, just couldn't finish. Down the lane, laying it up and in for Benton. Benton win 9. Terhune's got 3 guys that played in state championship games on the floor right now. Knesny, Kaler, didn't dunk it, but we'll get credit for the basket. And some subs will come in. Well, Ethan Edwards is on the floor. We reference that because his appearance is brought to us by Andrew Prince Realty. Whether it's buying, selling, renting, investment, when it comes to real estate, Andrew Prince with Century 21 Sheets here to help. 317-883-7575 and online, princerealtyindy.com. Andrew proud of his Whiteland ties, and on cue, the Whiteland Warrior hits the 3. Almost like we planned it,
yes.
Playing his high school ball at the Glen Ray Gymnasium in the heart of Johnson County. Truesdale letting guys fly by. And tipped in by his brother. Darion will get the basket. Knesny for 3. That does not go. Barnes will take the 22-footer and connect.
Barnes is, I think he's feeling it, Greg.
He's got 21.
Yes, he does. He's played really well.
Making his case for the blue-collar player of the game. Reverse layup by Knesny is good. Knesny with a dozen. 6 players for Terhune, now in double figures. Gizzy got it.
It just took a little while to warm up, but since that first half, he's shot pretty well.
Here is a sign that we have done a lot of his games the last few years. I recognized him by his jump shot before his new hair. Put back is there for
Yeah,
Edwards.
I honestly didn't even recognize it. I thought he was somebody else.
And I'm like, no, that's Gizzy, because I saw the way he shot the basketball.
I thought he was one of the Clinton Prairie boys who had the whole team dye their hair.
Also talented players, yes. Knesny, no. Tip does not go for Lindemann. Closing seconds here of quarter number 3. Again, offense the winner today. And of course, then a defensive play happens and Benton slams it home. He's got 11. Terhune back within 5. Barnes wanting to go ISO Joe here.
Yeah, he wants to slow it down for 1 with a 119 points.
From 16, couldn't finish, and that is the end of the quarter. Hickory, 119, Terhune, 114. I don't think they got to those scores in the movie. Back for 10 more minutes of basketball at the Hoosier Gym in Knightstown when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
The MSD of Lawrence Township embodies educational excellence, unlocking the full potential of every student we serve. Where innovation meets tradition, our students excel in welcoming safe, state-of-the-art facilities. A traditional public school district, Lawrence Township boasts a 95% graduation rate. On the court and in the arts, our students excel. Join the Lawrence Township family, where learners thrive, surrounded by values that resonate with home. Lawrence Township, your destination for a brighter future.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
The force is strong at the Fishers Event Center as your favorite Star Wars characters arrive to watch the freight take on the Quad City Steamwheelers. Get your tickets today at FishersFreightFootball.com.
The steal by Xavier Robinson, and Mullins throws it up and down. Mullins with 10. There was a committee meeting waiting on that one.
That was pretty impressive. Man, he can get up.
Deep 3 does not go. And Mullins the rebound. That time Mullins trying to repay the favor to Xavier Robinson. And off the sideboards. It'll be a turnover against Hickory. Fred Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you on the ISC Sports Network.
Been a lot of fun. Girls game was pretty good. This has been a lot of fun, too.
All 4 teams north of 100 points in today's game. We're going to ask for a towel. Don't want anybody slip it on this floor. We'll have the Midwest Challenge for you, presented by SVI Sportswear. And Prep Ball Stars at the all-new Farmers Bank Fieldhouse in Lebanon, coming up on May 10th. And it is the World Series of Indiana high school basketball, because obviously Kentucky a part of it too. Junior game against Kentucky at Charlestown on Sunday, June 1st. Futures game featuring the freshmen and sophomores on Monday, June 2nd. Raylan Mullins gets one more game from his hometown crowd at Greenfield Central. Junior-senior game on Wednesday, June 4th. And we're at Gamebridge Fieldhouse on Saturday, June 7th. We'll be there for all of those for you on the ISC Sports Network. Kirby. And Cooper's like, I don't want any part of that. I'm getting out of the way. Kirby's got 21. Konieczny misses. Hickory a chance to make this a double-digit lead, and Robinson takes advantage of it.
Give me 2 feet. That's all I need.
Xavier now with 15. That shot does not go for Kaler. Hickory a chance to extend things a bit further. Robinson again gets downhill. 17. Cooper, no. The 14-point lead now is as large as this has been in one direction today. Robinson, again, rebounds exceedingly well. He's got 19.
It's gonna be hard not to keep him on the floor next year. He has got such a great future.
Well,
Butler.
What was Butler's biggest need last year? Point guard.
Yeah, and he will fill that need and then some.
Cardinal for the youth. That ball ended up going off the rim, so Kirby will just fire a 3 and goes up and over the basket support. Jan, I'm not sure that 150 is in question at this point.
No, I may have to raise that a little bit.
Konieczny, no. Ball ripped away by Carpenter. And then Carpenter tosses it away. Today's game is brought to us by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. They want to congratulate Damian King of Anderson for being a part of today's Hoosier Gym Classic. When it comes to your next car, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. Find out more at edmartin.com. And again, Damian, unfortunately, was the player that got injured, turned his ankle early in the contest. So Damian's appearance was brief in today's game. Mullins got it.
Did we mention quick as part of his arsenal? First step, really quick.
Well, he is an explosive athlete.
Yes, he is.
Cooper's got another bucket. He's got 15. Robinson the blow by Singleton. Robinson with 21. Barnes, Kirby, and Robinson all with 21. Cooper the miss. Konieczny tried to keep it alive. Kirby again turns down the dunk so he can find Mullins for 3. Pretty good option. Mullins with 15.
He just knew it was going in. He just turned around and walked away. That's the confidence in automatic, man. I love that.
And now Cardinal, the behind the back to Kirby.
Like it.
And Justin Kirby appreciative of the effort by Bryson. Risco. Everybody's trying to get the dunk set up, and they got it.
That was engineered.
It is officially layup line time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now we're going to start grading the degree of difficult.
Mullins, no. Cooper the rebound. Konieczny for 3. Got it.
Wow.
Konieczny with 15. Got it to go to Mullins.
Man.
Cooper. Konechny.
Konechny's played well. He moves really well without the ball, Greg. I've liked his game today.
He's got 17. Briscoe pull up 3. And then Cardinal ended up knocking Konechny to the floor. Kirby will take the casual layup. He's got 25. And the line change about to happen for Hickory. Lindemann and 1. Lindemann in limited minutes has 16. And again, I think he's a young man that might be able to help Marion.
Yeah, I think so.
As of next year.
Well, he can play multiple positions. He runs the floor really well, elevates well. It's kind of that same type of player they have with that young class. I mean, they all can handle the ball.
That might be it for Braylon Mullins. I think he's done for the day. And see some of the Mullins clan starting to head for the exit. So he's got about the shortest drive home of anybody getting to Greenfield from here. Literally next exit down on I-70.
I really appreciate him, coming and playing. Sometimes they don't for whatever reason, but I really appreciate the fact that he came today and played.
And again, when we see somebody have to leave early for something like that this time of year, it might be Greenfield's prom night at this point. So Gizzy on the drive, rejected by Truesdale, but saves it right to Lindemann. And Lindemann's got 18. Another sub will come in here. Today's game presented in part by Lawrence Township Schools, voted Indy's best public schools. Metropolitan District of Lawrence Township is your district destination. Commitment to excellence, innovation, and opportunity. LT empowers every student to reach their full potential on the path to graduation, college, and career. Whether you're new to the area or exploring the best for your child's future, discover what it means to Lawrence Township, or discover what makes Lawrence Township the place where education leads to success. Learn more at ltschools.org, and congratulations to Xavier Robinson of Lawrence North for playing a big part in today's game. Here's Truesdale. He'll shoot 2. This reminder tonight on the ISC Sports Network, you can see the Women's Hall of Fame induction ceremony, the annual banquet at Primo's on the south side of Indianapolis. Top players, coaches, and contributors to girls basketball in the state of Indiana historically. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock. ISC Sports Network, ISC Twitter, and YouTube. Truesdale. That is Draylon wearing number 10. 3 in the corner does not go. Taken and missed by Grady Carpenter.
Nice
Truesdale
pass.
hanging around the baseline. He's got 14.
Well, there's our 150. 4 minutes to go, Greg.
Singleton going to work. Singleton got fouled, and Trey Singleton will shoot 2. Today's game presented by our friends at 9-Star Connect, who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state. 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. Find out what so many others already know and call 9-Star today. 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Congratulations, Julius Gizzy of New Palm, for playing in today's Hoosier Gym Classic. Singleton scores them both. He's got 22 to lead Terhune.
Big Ten, here he comes.
The entire Northwestern staff was at the state finals to watch him play. Led by, of course, Chris Collins.
Sure.
But 2 guys on that staff very much have Indiana ties. So Chris Lowry, former head coach of Southern Illinois, played at Evansville Harrison. And then Bryant McIntosh from Greensburg, but on that staff after playing at Northwestern. And Bryant won a pair of 3A titles at Greensburg in 2013 and 2014. Carpenter taken away by Willard. And then trying to find Truesdale.
Is Barnheiser gone?
He is now out of eligibility, yes.
Yes.
And I think he's going to be kind of a two-way level player as Gizzy connects for 3. He's got 16. He's a good enough athlete I think he'll be a 3-and-D guy in the pros.
Okay.
So it would not surprise me to see him maybe be as Barnes just runs out of real estate. I think he's a second-round pick in the NBA draft, and he's smart enough being a coach's kid. He can almost play a little point guard if you need him to. I think he's going to play professionally here in the States.
He really played well, I thought, especially his last couple of years at Northwestern. That was a good fit for him.
3 minutes left to go in this one. Hickory going for the split, if you will, as Douglas has 9. Willard misses. Singleton lays it up and in. Trey with 24. We saw some pressing in the girls' game. I don't think we're going to see that in the boys' game.
No, they do the dunk.
Minutes have been pretty well evenly split. Most guys played right around 20. Truesdale pulls and misses. Barnes is there for the putback.
Well, both Miss Basketball, Mr. Basketball did not disappoint today. Both of them really had good days, allegedly, for Mr. Basketball.
That is not official yet. It's just kind of assumed at this point.
Yeah, I think it's a fair assumption.
Carpenter was 7. Edwards scores that. He's got a dozen. 8 of the players for Hickory are in double figures. We'll do a similar count for Terhune momentarily. 7 for Terhune. That happens, you got 295 points on the board. The pull by Edwards, no. Whiteland saw their season ending against Terre Haute North in the regional at Washington. Gizzy, Singleton basket. Singleton now the scoring high of 26. 3 by Barnes is good, and Barnes takes back the scoring lead with 26 points.
And we have reached the 300 mark. I don't know that I've seen 300 in a game.
I was
before.
that maybe the highest scoring game I've ever called.
Yeah, I know it is mine.
Barnes pulls again. Singleton, I'll take that, and missed it. In the girls, Terhune won 114-105. Ellie Richardson led the way in scoring with 24 for Terhune. Maya Makaluski had 26 for Hickory in a losing effort.
On a tender ankle, I might add.
Correct. We were told she was not expected to play, and play she did.
Of course, she'll be replacing another HSC person in Parrish.
Correct. Truesdale, left by his lonesome, misses. One Truesdale misses, the other one couldn't grab the rebound. Maybe one more trip down the floor, and that'll be that. Douglas will fire a 3, and that does not go. Edwards wants one up, could not catch it. Barnes will track it down. Truesdale given full flight. Let's see if Gizzy gets one last heave from 3. He will. He scores. That's that. 160-145 is the final score. Jan, your final thoughts on a fun day of basketball here in Knightstown?
Absolutely. Great to be back here in this gym working with you. We've been doing it for a while. It never gets old. A lot of fun, but especially this boys game, boy, what a performance of shooting today.
Let's thank these great sponsors that make it happen before we get to our player of the game. Thank you, Andrew Prince Realty. Andrew Prince is here to help at PrinceRealtyIndy.com. By Coca-Cola of Kokomo, North Central Indiana's Coca-Cola bottler since 1907. By the Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know. By Fishers Freight Football. Indoor football is back in Central Indiana at the all-new Fishers Event Center. And the Freighter Home next Saturday night. Get your tickets now at FishersFreightFootball.com. By Hamilton Southeastern Schools. No open to students out of the HSE district. Learn more at hseschools.org. By Hoops in Henry. Take your shot in Henry County. Basketball destinations and so much more. Visit hoopsinhenry.com for trip planning ideas. By the Indy 11. World's Game, Indiana's team, and home next Saturday with a 7 o'clock kickoff at Carroll Stadium. By Lawrence Township Schools. Learn more about Lawrence Excellence at ltschools.org. And by 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? We were trailing Justin Kirby for a very good reason. He is our blue-collar player of the game, presented by Boilermakers Local 374. Become a Union Boilermaker and be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. Several additions to the highlight reel for Justin. He finished with 25 points.
Well, he was impressive inside, outside, and not to mention a few outstanding dunks.
Just a couple like that one. Again, he is headed to play at Miami of Ohio. Kirby 25, Barnes 26, Robinson 23 to lead Hickory. Singleton 26, Gizzy 19, Lindemann 18 to lead the way for Terhune. Partner, as always, a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Always great to be with you, Greg.
Our next basketball here on ISC is the Hall of Fame Women's Banquet tonight at 6 o'clock. Our next All-Star basketball is in 2 weeks. The Midwest Challenge, presented by SVI Sportswear. That begins May 10th at 10 a.m. We hope you join us there. For Jan Bozier and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Goodbye from Knightstown. Hickory wins the boys' game 161-45. Thanks for joining us on ISC.
The force is strong at the Fishers Event Center.